I was just watching an interview with the new Dune movie director in French, and it was an interview with the cast. The actor who played Paul Atreides and the director were talking about the film. And one of the things that they were talking about in another video also was the Bene Jessert voice that the Reverend Mother uses in Dune. And I wanted to kind of compare that to the psychic prophet block command that is used by psychics in grydscaen. Specifically the psychic Blue, who you're seeing on the screen here. He is a clandestine psychic assassin. He is 16 years old. He was sold to the Psi faction for the Sit card by his mother, and he has been raised by the Psi faction and trained as both a martial artist and a psychic assassin. He is a clandestine psychic operative. He is the youngest operative that the Psi faction has, actually, and he is one of the most skilled and most decorated, and he is deadly. So what I wanted to talk about is that the voice from the Bene Jesseret, and I haven't seen the new Dune movie, but that is one of I've seen pretty much every iteration of Dune that, that has been made. Originally when I read the book as, in middle school, I thought it was awesome. So I'm a big Dune fan. And I've also always liked the Bene Gesserets. And so it's interesting, in the grydscaen series, there are, specifically, we're doing the grydscaen My Blue Elysium visual novel right now, which is talking about Ian, one of the player characters. Her mother was a prophet lay priestess. And if you look at the grydscaen series, the prophets, which are the psychics who believe in the prophet religion, which is the great Lord Thoth, god of wisdom, and his consort, the goddess Llewellyn, who is the goddess of art and culture and the bringer of Codis, which is psychic power, and Thoth's twin brother, the god of the underworld, Set. So the prophets are a specific religious caste of psychics, and they believe in this god pantheon and that Llewellyn graced humans with psychic power. So in a sense, and there are monks and ceremonial magi and there are adepts, and the Prophet Trilogy, which is the sequel to grydscaen, is literally 3 books about the prophet religion. And so that's neither here nor there. But I want to go on about the Bene Jesseret voice and the subconscious command. So in the scene with Paul and his hand in the box, fears a little death. She says for Paul to come, and then he just subconsciously comes to her and kneels down in front of her in the new movie. And so the block command that Blue uses, so you're looking at a picture of Blue here, he basically can say a word or a sentence. Now, Blue is psychic, but his voice has been modified by his psi conditioning, so he does not use it. All of his communication is done psychically, mind to mind. But he does have this block command. He's used his voice for that, and that's literally the only time that he speaks. So there are certain situations in the grydscaen series where Blue is either on a mission or something's happening and he needs to attack somebody. He can also attack. He's a psychic assassin, one of the deadliest and youngest assassins for the Psi faction, clandestine psychic operative, cyber terrorist team, anti-terrorism team. But he uses these block commands like a word. So if he says stop, you will freeze in place. There is a point where he says die to another psychic who is attacking him, and that person's head literally explodes. There are times when Blue has ordered people to come. He has ordered them to stop, to retreat, to stop attacking. There was a knife attack that he stopped by just saying a sentence. And so I just wanted to note that the Bene Jesseret voice and the psychic block command that Blue uses, and the prophet religion, so both these books have this like religious and psychic power, and they seem to be very similar. So watching the director talk about the scene with Paul's hand in the box and, fears a little death, that just kind of brought that up. That's actually my favorite scene in each of the different renditions of the Dune movie that I have seen. I think my favorite version still is the original, but, hey, I can be swayed. I haven't seen the new movie yet, but it looks cinematography great, so I'd like to see it. But I think I'm a little tainted by the previous movies that, I saw when I was younger, so that's kind of the Dune etched in my mind. But anyway, so I just wanted to say that, Dune and grydscaen both have, this spirituality around power in them, and they both have this voice or block command. So thank you.